Hello, my name is Ryan Lisk. I'm the owner of Lisk Associates and business partner to organizations specializing in the selection and professional development of people. Our approach is simple, practical, and we hope to make people, teams, and organizations more valuable, which is the purpose of me bringing this series of 3 videos for you. And I've created this, what we're calling an onboarding series of videos. So you have been given if you're watching this, you've been given a talent insights report similar to what I have up on my screen. It's 20 pages. And what I'm going to do is give you the instructions and the exercises to get you through the 20 pages. I'm actually going to divide this into 3 short videos in what I call an 866. So today in video number 1, we're going to go through the first 8 pages, and that will have you prepared for your onboarding session number 1 with your manager. The second 6 pages will be in video number 2, and that will coincide with your conversation or onboarding session number 2. And then finally, we'll look at the last 6 pages, which will have you prepared for your onboarding session number 3. So the idea of this is not to have you read this as I go through this short video, but I'm going to give you the directions. So jot down the notes, exactly what you're supposed to do for each section. And then you can take, it should take you maybe 15 minutes to go through the first 8 pages and complete the exercise. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You're looking at, this is the title page, and then when you go to page number 2, you have 6 paragraphs of general characteristics. What I would like for you to do in the general characteristics section is what we call check marks, X's, and question marks. So for each sentence, as you read a sentence that sounds like you, put a check mark by that. If you read a sentence and you say that's not me at all, put an X by that. And sometimes you're going to have some sentences where you're going to say, I don't know if that's me or not. I call those things that make you say, I put question marks by those. So check marks for things that sound like you, X's for statements that aren't you, and question marks for things that make you say, in the report. And this report is generated by the answers that you put into the computer when you took your online personal talent assessment. And so this is some of the results that are generated. We wanted to share those with you. At the end of your general characteristics, why don't you put a score here on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, that's nothing like me, and a 10, that's spot on. Give yourself a score there, a 1 through 10. And you can have that also in some conversation with your manager. And then let's go to the next page called Value to the Organization. As you read this page, everybody has a short bullet list here. These are all very positive statements. And what I would like for you to do here is rank your top 3. So the way you would read this page is, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want people to know you in the organization? Or how do you want them to feel when they've left your office, maybe after a conversation? So check off your top 3 and even rank those 1, 2, and 3. And then finally, when you finish that, we're going to have the same kind of process for what we call the checklist for communicating. I call these do's and don'ts for communicating. So you're going to have 2 pages here. And on the first page are ways to communicate. So we have a longer list here. What I would like for you to do is check off your top 3 on this list. The way you read this page is, what are things that you like other people to do to you from a communication perspective? So how do you like people to communicate with you? And then once you've ranked your top 3 on that page, go to the next page, and these are ways not to communicate with you. So we call these the don'ts. So now don't try to check off all these. That's what a lot of people like to do. You may feel like all these apply, but try to check off your top 3, rank them 1, 2, and 3. The way you read this page is, these are things I don't like people to do to me from a communication perspective. So if you're reading the statements, I always put the word don't up there in front. So if I'm reading off my sample, that first line there is going to say, don't drive on to facts, figures, alternatives, or abstractions. So that's a way not to communicate with him. All right, so when you finish that, that's going to be page number 8. So you've done a prep for your onboarding session 1, and hopefully this will save you some time so you don't have to do the exercises, while you're trying to have some valuable time with your manager. You can have a better conversation. This should generate a lot of what we call thought starters, and will hopefully get you off to a great start in your new position. And welcome. Thanks.